brighten up those already bright mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter. Mornings at the Cabin.
It's almost too damn bright. Mornings at the Cabin. Wheeler and Ollie with you on your Tuesday morning. Already awoken by the sun about 2.5 hours ago. But that's how we roll here in the mornings. We get up really early, and then we talk nonsense to you, our rabid listener.
No.
No, there's a couple?
Yeah, I think that the household has more than one person in it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
We're all good.
We always appreciate the support. Thank you so much.
We've redecorated.
We have taken down AJ's brother from the wall.
Thankfully.
I don't know. I liked it.
No.
I liked it. You didn't like that. It was like we were adding things to it. Like we added a knife or sticker to it, and then we added a quote from Jill Lane that said "Yellow knife hot."
Yeah,
which is funny.
But it's still a 7-foot cardboard cutout looming over you of someone's brother who I've never met before. When
That's
you're trying to do the
right.
news at 5 a.m.
Never met him before either. Travago, and he looks like the Travago guy,
A little bit.
who was just picked up for a DUI last week.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
And he looks as disheveled in his mugshot as he does in the commercials.
Oh, look at them with their
Just
genuine true to life advertising.
Absolutely. Living it up. But the new feature here on Mornings at the Cabin and throughout the day will be the brand new weather map we have up on our wall. It is a map of the Northwest Territories circa 2012, so it's still accurate.
Yeah,
Yes.
Trout Lakes.
Yeah.
A little bit of work.
There we go. Well, that's fine. We can just write that down. So your plan for this is to do a weather report.
I feel like Instagram weather reports have to be a thing.
I think that's great. Yeah, I think stepping forward with our technology while also using like retro technology is good.
Yeah, just gotta strap weather symbols to the puppy.
That sounds pretty great. I can't wait for the first one.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
Neither of you have watched the latest Game of Thrones episode. Is that correct?
Well, he's watched it.
Oh, you've watched it?
I have.
Well, you didn't want to talk about it.
Incorrect. Well, obviously, we're not going to talk about what happened in it.
We're going to talk about what happened during the episode. Starting now, it's going to be an 80-minute conversation. And I'm basically going to tell you everything that happened.
I do worry for people who don't watch Game of Thrones. This must be an excruciatingly dull morning show sometimes. But
they can stuff it. I'm sorry. Those are the people that are like posting things like, I've never watched an episode of Game of Thrones. And that's that. And just like, shut up. Let people enjoy things.
I think there are more than two camps.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think there's two
I don't
camps.
know if there are either. Yeah.
No, there are. I mean, of course,
I'm sorry, too. Like, if you want to look elsewhere, try and find a morning show or any kind of show that's not talking about Game of Thrones.
Oh,
I don't know.
okay.
Jim
So now
Taylor,
we're just
Jim Taylor
also
got through a whole hour on Monday night, and I didn't hear him once mention
That's a
Westeros.
specialty show.
Jesus.
It's not a morning show. It's Sports Center. They're probably talking about
why
Game
do
of
I
Thrones
even
right
pick
now.
topics to talk about? Why? Like, you always tell me, I got to pick all the topics. I pick them, and then the first 5 minutes is spent like, why are we even talking about this? This is stupid. Like, I don't know.
Well, to be fair, you weren't sure why we were talking about pickled herring.
Well,
yesterday.
I mean, that turned into a great break because I was retching the entire time.
So turn it around. Show Ollie why this is going to be a great break.
I don't know, Starbucks, whatever. No, but that's the big controversy. The biggest thing that anybody's pulling from this episode is that they left a Starbucks cup in front of Daenerys during the feast scene, which, according to one of the creators, was one of the most difficult scenes to film in the entire series.
Why?
I don't know. He just said it was problematic to set up. It was problematic to shoot. You've got half the cast in one little room, so you have to. And I mean, what I can imagine is like setting up all the close-ups and the coverage and stuff like that. You've got to move everybody around to make room for the cameras, and you're probably doing that for a couple of days. The battles are something very different. You've got a bunch of different units working on the battle scenes, so really you kind of coordinate like an orchestra, everything together. I can imagine that would be very, very difficult, but you have more teams kind of working on it. Whereas if you're in one set piece in the hall there, filming with all those people and trying to do like 4 or 5 different scenes between actors is got to be very tough.
And you have tons of space for a battle scene too.
That's
I
right.
Imagine. So
Lots
that
of
makes
space.
it easier.
Yeah. So yeah, he that was one of the things one of the takeaways from that episode. But yeah, that's what everybody's talking about. I will say this about the episode: it is the second lowest rated episode in the history of the show.
Oh, I can't wait to watch it.
It's a great episode.
So excited.
It's still a great episode. It's just that
Is it?
Is it? Okay. I was trying to lessen the blow for Scott here. This is like after episode 3.
Yeah.
For those who haven't watched it yet, watch it. God.
Well, you couldn't see it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. We rewatched it with the brightness turned way up. It was so much better. But after that episode, a lot of people are wondering, like, where do you go now? Like, if this, I was going to write this on Facebook this morning in my groggy state at 5 a.m. If someone actually ends up on the Iron Throne at the end of this series, I'm going to be pissed off. I will not like that ending whatsoever.
No matter who it is?
Well, because the whole point of this, like, the Great War was the war against the dead. So that was the thing that they had to focus on. So for 8 seasons, they've been telling us that this isn't, the Iron Throne doesn't matter. This is stupid human nonsense that we're squabbling over when the real threat is coming from the north, which it always does. And then that's over. So now if it's just a war for the throne.
If you haven't seen episode 3, that doesn't go well for the North.
Whatever. If you haven't, okay. And so if it's just going to be a fight for the throne at the end of this, then it's just pointless.
It's prioritization.
No, it's pointless.
Yeah, they got the main threat out of the way.
No.
Now it's time to sweep up the pieces.
There is something kind of like slightly poetic about that. You get rid of the actual threat, the thing that's been bearing down on you for 8 seasons. And then you still got to deal with humans, which is kind of a Walking Dead thing.
Which is the toughest part.
Right, it's a Walking Dead thing, which is like the dead aren't the threat. Humans are the threat.
Everybody seems very, very sure that threat has gone away.
Yes, but
why?
Here's like, what episode 4 didn't do. Didn't set up anything.
My point. Get out.
It's my point.
So, North of the Wall, nobody's been there. Nobody has a clue what's north of there. We got no maps. It's not like we sent a drone over there just to have a quick look-see after things happen.
We have a map.
We have a map in the studio, yes. It's not of Westeros.
Well,
the point being, like, there's been no coverage at all of like what may or may not be happening still north of the Wall, which is, if you look at the opening credits, it's a blooming big space.
It is.
Whole lot of things up there.
Absolutely.
Like, what makes us think we're so sure that that's all neatly wrapped up in a bow?
Well, one of the theories that came out of a subreddit on Reddit, which kind of went viral, is that like Bran is it's not that Bran is the Night King, it's that there's the other, which gets mentioned in the books but hasn't been mentioned on the show very much. Which is basically like...
Well, hang on, this sounds like it could be a spoiler. I've not read the books.
Okay, well, don't worry about it. But basically that, like, this is all part of the plan.
Yeah.
Everything's all been part of the plan. This is all part of fate. This is all... Destiny is a huge part of the show. So this is... Everything that's happening is all part of the plan. And that's what they talk about up until the end of episode 3, right before the big thing. Bran even says, like, Theon apologizes to him, and Bran says, everything you've done has brought you here.
Yes,
and that's where we're at now.
It is what your average, common or garden variety priest says every Sunday. So
yes, it's very true. It's very true. This carries a bit more weight for me, Ollie. So I'm obviously very interested, but episode 4 did not do much to sate my need for a conclusion that is satisfactory.
Yeah. Well, that's right. They kind of like, I imagine after you've done the whole like episode 3 thing, you gotta take a breather and reposition everybody for the last 2 shows.
Okay, so take a breather for like 20 minutes, not 60 of the 80.
He said it was still a great episode.
It's still a great episode.
This is like Juror number 7 in,
that's the thing.
12 Angry Men. He's gone.
A weak episode of Game of Thrones is still better than the best episode of like the Big Bang Theory. So like, yeah, shots fired against the Big Bang Theory.
Bold. Jeez. I'm sure something's happened in the Big Bang Theory.
Nothing.
No?
No.
Nothing.
280 episodes and nothing has happened.
I mean, I'm not going to go back and test that theory.
No, let's watch them all. So anyway, I mean, yeah, enjoy the episode. I hope you really do.
Me too.
Yeah, you will. It's,
Yeah. Really looking forward to it.
The end is great.
I'm going to look for that cup.
The credits.
The credits are wonderful. Oh my goodness. If you've got any GOT theories, keep them to yourself.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast. Hey, it was early. What do you want from us?
Wheeler and Lecter with you. Ollie has begrudgingly decided to join us for this break. Thanks, bud.
Always a pleasure.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not usually the feeling I get.
Well, we'll figure that out once we get into it.
That's right.
What are we talking about?
Well, there's a few things we could talk about.
Okay.
And we were gonna let Ollie decide because we like having him on the show.
Yeah.
1 million species at risk of extinction.
Yeah,
a UN report
so
warrant?
This is.
Oh, so this is what we're going with? Okay.
Well, I thought that. Why did you? What?
Well, I was going to give people options, and then they were going to vote, and then we were going to go.
Okay.
Okay. That or a kid has reprogrammed his Roomba to scream swears when it bumps into things, or the Kentucky Derby.
No, I don't mind.
Extinction? Mass extinction?
All right, let's go extinction.
Okay.
1 million species at risk of extinction. A new UN report warns. This came out. This was released yesterday, but all anybody could talk about was that Starbucks cup. My goodness, what a foul up! What do you got? You were about to launch into something.
What does the report say?
Okay, so the report basically says that, pardon me, based on a review of 15,000 scientific and government sources and compiled by 145 expert authors from 50 countries, the global report is its first comprehensive look in 15 years at the state of the planet's biodiversity. So there's at least 8.7 million living species on the planet, and they are saying 1 million of them are at risk of extinction, correlating with basically human behavior and how we're destroying the planet.
Are we one of them?
I hope so, because this planet could really use not us for a bit. Maybe we need to jump off the rock.
That, yeah.
What's that?
I think the rest of the planet would, the rest of the 7.8 or whatever billion species.
That's right.
Would probably be like, we could probably do without.
We could probably do without you guys. I mean, this is kind of what we're seeing, right? I mean, it's like increased intense weather patterns and things like that. Is the Earth just going? Just get off, get off of me. Because I mean, if you think of us, the human species as an organism, one organism unto itself, we are a plague on the planet. This is we don't live in harmony with it. We don't live in balance with it. We just kind of take what we need and leave the rest, which is garbage for the most part. Most of us do, not all of us.
If only the Earth had created a vaccination for us.
Yeah, that's right.
We just grew out of control.
But then it probably wouldn't take it based on poor information it received from Jenny McCarthy. Like this girl was on MTV's Singled Out. Probably knows what she's talking about. I mean, she cured her son's autism, right?
I wonder what Tom Green thinks of vaccinations.
Oh, let him get the cow nipple out of his mouth before he says anything. That's way far back. It's like 2001. Okay, so basically, this is just a warning shot. This is what they're saying. Like up to 1 million species are at risk of extinction. Which I mean, we already know, or at least it's being said that we're in the middle of an extinction level event, and this is kind of part of it. And this is a human-caused extinction level event. So anytime something like this happens, usually there's a big reset, and an extinction level event is usually something cataclysmic like an asteroid hitting Earth, or, I don't know, just billions of people not really caring about what they're using and when, I guess, is one of those things as well. So I guess the question would be, you guys for this extinction level event or against it? I'm going point, counterpoint. For me, I think, I mean, if we weren't on this planet, the planet would probably do really, really well. So I'm all for humans not being here anymore. Yeah.
It'd be easier.
It'd be
easier. About anything.
Like, we always talk about saving the planet. I was like, the planet's going to be fine if we're not here. The planet will do just fine.
I feel like I'm safely assuming that bees are part of that.
Oh, absolutely. Bees are going to be... Maybe they're not, because bees are probably going to be extinct before the rest of the million actually become extinct.
Bees have been kind of... They've had a rough go the last few years.
Well, they're not really pulling their weight.
Did you see the highlights of that Cincinnati Reds game last night?
Oh, yeah, where the bees attacked?
The bees are just, like, covering this one chair, and these guys are, like, shaking piles of bees off a chair. It's like, okay, well, they're fighting back now.
Well, they're just like, you know what? We've got nothing to pollinate around here. Let's just go to the game.
Let's go to the game. Watch
go to the game.
Baseball.
That's right. We'll find some beer to pollinate with, I guess. Wow, filthy bees.
Ollie, for or against?
It's going to be a sad day when the day following the mass extinction event that also wipes out humanity.
Yeah.
The letter from the CRTC arrived. Congratulations on your FM license.
We did it.
Yeah, right on. Feel free to broadcast whatever the hell you want.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast where we cut out all the great music and you're left with the rest.
On Saturday was the 145th running of the Kentucky Derby. Mint juleps for all. And for the first time, a most controversial finish.
Yeah.
The winner, Maximum Security, was disqualified. It took more than 2 excruciating hours or minutes. I can't remember. I don't know how horse racing works. The race lasted 2.5 minutes or something. They go how many furlongs? They go. What's a furlong for one?
It's a unit of measurement.
I know what it is. Ollie, what's a furlong?
It's a unit of measurement.
Oh, do you know how long it is?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, for long enough, we've
fur
debated. We've debated the merits of the Kentucky Derby, but this was kind of exciting as a horse race can be. Maximum Security won, but then was later disqualified for leaving its lane. Now, for those of you who didn't know there were lanes in a horse race, either did I. But it left his lane and blocked somebody, and it's an interference.
Yeah, he impeded another horse that was bursting on the inside scene.
Burst? There's going to be bursting?
Yes, named Code of Honor.
Oh, well,
Yes.
that is not very honorable. Maximum Security.
No.
Named as such because he is owned by a person who owns private prisons.
There you
I
go.
made that up. But
I think
that
might
makes
be
sense.
true.
It makes sense. It could be true. Just like he benefits from private prisons. He bought a horse.
Well, someone's got to.
That's yes, you're absolutely right. Someone should be making money off the backs of prison labor.
If they're private.
That is so incredibly awful. So yeah, and that's the first time in 145 years that this has happened.
Yeah.
There's been disqualifications before, but not the winner that was disqualified.
You know what? And there was only one disqualification prior to this in history, apparently.
Oh, really? Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
In 1968, a horse that won was found to have been on some kind of drug, some kind of like.
Okay, so
horse
there has
steroid or
been a
something.
Kentucky Derby winner that's been disqualified.
Yeah, but only one.
Oh no, I heard that there were none. I heard that this was the first time in it's the first time in a Derby winner has been disqualified because of a foul. Oh, on the track.
Yes.
I see.
Yeah.
And this was a failed drug test.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
What a doper
But only twice in 145 years
of a horse race.
is pretty incredible.
Yes. It is.
No, not so much.
I don't know. I mean, it's a horse race. It's the most famous one in the world, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, I would say so.
It
yeah.
is. I mean, it's the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's supposed to be an incredible party, too. Like, the week leading up to it, big hats, mint juleps.
Molasses.
Dripping from your lips. I'll have a mint julep. You got to pop the bottom lip.
You do.
down.
That's right.
I've actually always wanted to go to the Kentucky Derby.
Have you?
Kind of. I mean, it just seems like a really good time, and I love a mint julep.
Just one of those kind of spectacle events that you'd
Yeah.
like to experience.
Check it off. Not a bucket list, really.
Yeah.
It's not really on the bucket list. Just check it off a list that you may have made on a napkin in a bar at 3:00 in the morning one day. You know, I'd like to see the Kentucky Derby. Just check it off that list.
Never in your best mind do you make that decision.
I'd
like to see the Kentucky Derby one year.
We're driving to Kentucky. It's not for months. I don't care. So the horse that takes the Kentucky Derby is Country House.
Yeah.
Which is also named after a person who's just like bragging. It's like, I got a country house. Name my horse after it.
So this raised so much ire. Even Donald Trump tweeted about it.
Oh, and this is the worst part. He said it had to do with political correctness.
That was amazing.
How
Somehow
can
tied
a
it
person,
into political correctness.
God, there's no point talking about the U.S. anymore whatsoever. But how can a person equate those two things and also be in a position of authority to be so completely out of it that those two things are like cause each other? Oh God, what's the point?
Well, never let any facts or reality get in the way of a good tweet, right?
Oh God, let's just invade Venezuela.
I think he
and get
just
it
had
over
money
with.
on maximum security.
Probably, it's
Yeah.
probably what it is. I mean, he's definitely bet money on privatized prisons. So, he's got some investments to take care of. So that was an interesting thing. Most of the times the Derby passes and nobody cares.
Yeah.
There's been 2 Triple
Happens,
Crown
yeah.
winners in the last 4 years, which is huge for horse racing because it hadn't happened since 72.
Yeah, there's only been 13 ever.
Yes.
Which,
So
again,
this
is
one
pretty
made
incredible.
it slightly more interesting.
Yeah.
And they appealed it, and it was rejected.
Well, because apparently it's written right into the rules of the Kentucky Derby that there is no appeal.
Oh, okay.
These-
But they appealed it anyway.
They appealed it anyway because, why not waste some time and money for
So
some
they were
people?
they were just breaking rules left, right, and center.
Yeah. So, like the stewards, it's written into the rules that once they make their final decision, it's final. There is no appeal process. But yeah, they appealed it anyway. And, of course, lost.
Ollie, any thoughts?
I'm impressed at Lecter's level of horse racing knowledge. I did not know that you knew this stuff. Now, either one of two things has happened here.
Yes,
one,
right.
you watch a lot of horse racing
No.
and have just been keeping this under your hat. Or two, Cabin Sports Radio was last night and you had to do some research.
Hey, all right.
There it is.
Research.
Once in a while.
Once in a while, you got to get prepared for the show.
Yeah.
Well, good for you. Thank you for sharing all that information with us.
No problem. Anytime.
Awesome. Country House, the winner of the 145th Kentucky Derby, maximum security, now glue and dog food.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast was recorded before a sort of live, thankfully not in the studio, audience.
This came up in a Facebook feed yesterday. A friend of the show, JDQ. I'm not going to expand on her name. JDQ. Everyone.
She's
knows.
just JD.
JDQ.
Yeah.
Posted a little post, a Tumblr post saying that why is everyone always saying that Satan? Why is everybody always equating Satan with heavy metal or hard metal or death metal or whatever? For all we know, Satan could listen to smooth jazz. And I commented, if smooth jazz comes from anywhere, it comes from Satan. Now, when I'm talking about smooth jazz, I'm talking about like Kenny G. And I've got no problem with Kenny G. It's just that that's what Satan would listen to. Or at least that's what Satan would create for us to listen to. And she asked if this could be a topic on today's show. And I said yes. Not thinking about it, really.
And here we are.
Here we are.
This is how most of morning.
This is how most of
occurs.
You know what? When I'm actually in a cabin and waking up in the morning, I don't have a plan.
No.
What are you going to do with your day? I don't know. Roll down to maybe fish, maybe just lay here, maybe, I don't know.
Start a fire, I guess.
Start a fire, I guess. I don't know. Make some coffee. Make some bad coffee.
We're just trying to be authentic here. That's all we're going for.
Trying to do here.
I mean,
be authentic and our true selves and live our blessed lives. Sorry, go ahead.
I think there's a pretty logical reason why Satan is associated with heavy metal.
Please.
Well, the devil horns.
Oh, the devil horns.
The devil horns.
The devil horns. I thought these were just like, turn it up,
I have
buddy.
yet to see Kenny G flash the devil horns.
I have yet to see anyone inspired by Kenny G to flash these devil horns. But
very synonymous imagery.
Yeah, but if you
used by
equate
heavy metal bands,
yeah, and I understand the hardness of it, the hardness of death metal, and like the loudness, the themes,
the songs,
death, blackness, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's all kind of associated with Lucifer or Satan. But depending on your point of view of Satan,
yeah,
I would think that he wouldn't create death. That would be like Satan's favorite music, whereas the music he would send to torture people would be more like smooth jazz.
Okay.
So if he was looking to be like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to, if you're coming down into my dungeon, into my space, and this is not supposed to be a nice visit. If if you ended up in Satan's house, in theory, not a nice visit.
He might be very accommodating.
It might be. I mean, we don't know what the afterlife holds.
No.
I mean, Satan's house could be just like, hey, come on in, do whatever you want. Try not to hurt anybody else.
I mean, heaven could just be laborious, You go up there and it's just like, you feel good by working hard. Put it in an honest
day's work. And you know what you're going to do? You're going to just you're going to dig this hole.
Yeah.
What's the hole for? I don't know. There's just something about a hard day's work that makes you feel good. It's like, this doesn't sound like heaven. And maybe Satan's house is just like, we got chips.
Do whatever you want.
We got do whatever you want. I don't know, really. I mean,
we got a Roomba that swears at people and cleaning up the place.
We got Norwegian death metal playing. I mean, if you want something, maybe smooth jazz is what's playing in heaven.
Oh.
Yee. So what would Satan listen to now that we're on the topic? That's what I said smooth jazz or possibly, I don't know, possibly a what would be a good song for Satan to torture people with? Or what is Satan just kind of tapping his toes to?
I can tell you this, I'm sure he's sick of AC/DC by now.
Oh my God, he can't even, and he's like, these people do not speak for me.
I want no association with this band. They've been playing the same song.
Yeah, that's right.
For 30 years now.
It's like God with Joan Osborne. He's like, all right, I am not one of you. That's the whole point. The whole point is I am not one of you. So lay off.
I like to think God listens to, a little,
To Joan Osborne.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. She sings really well on that Motown documentary. You guys should check that out. That's what God's saying.
It's tough to say what.
It's tough to say. What? Okay, but we did listen to something this morning, and maybe I'll cue it up later, or maybe you could insert it into the podcast later, which is part of this. Blink-182 has announced that they're going on tour with Lil Wayne.
Oh, right, yeah.
So, sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I'll bite.
All right.
And CJ92 in Calgary posted it on their Facebook page, a video of this mashup. And it's What's My Age Again mashed up with a Lil Wayne song that I don't know. And it is hot garbage. It is. There's something kind of off-putting about a 47-year-old singing about being 23. There's that, but also like Mark Hoppus is like barely singing.
Yeah.
And like Lil Wayne's just kind of force-feeding his lyrics over the backup of What's My Age Again.
Yeah.
I think that could be something. That could be something that Lucifer's like, you know what? Check this out.
Do you hate it?
What, do you hate it?
Let's turn it up a little.
Yeah. Do you hate this? Because that's what I did.
I have a feeling that right now in hell,
Yes.
Weezer's cover album is just playing on a loop.
Oh, hey, I love this song. Is this Toto's Africa? No. This is Weezer's Africa. But it sounds the exact same. I know. That's the worst part. Oh, God, can we play some TLC or something? Well, do I have a surprise for you? Weezer covered No Scrubs. Well, that doesn't seem appropriate. Well, here it is anyway.
All right, just throw in some Black Sabbath. Weezer did that one too. There you go.
Oh, my Lord.
There's no escape.
There's no escaping Weezer's clutches. Well, that's pretty good, I think.
That's about as best we could do with that, I think.
That's right. What do you think Satan listens to? 867-675-0100, or send us a message and we'll play it for you.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca.